Hello, friends. I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness. What I have in mind for you tonight is our Stability Meets Mobility Fire and Earth sequence. So, with the Fire and Earth, what we're going to be focusing on is really working on isolating some muscles, both stabilizing and mobilizing muscles that are associated with Earth element, the secondary channels of Earth element meridians from traditional Chinese medicine. So, I'm thinking stomach and spleen meridians. So, some of the muscles, and we work these every yoga class, but we don't necessarily isolate them. What we're going to be working on isolating tonight are a lot of the muscles with the neck, levator scapulae, but also large muscles in the back, the latissimus dorsi, the lower and middle trapezius. We're going to be working on triceps tonight. What I think you'll need to be safe to enjoy and get the most out of your practice are a sticky yoga mat and at least one, but better yet, two yoga blocks. So pause your recording, roll out your mat, gather up your props, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll meet you on your mat for our Stability Meets Mobility Fire and Earth sequence. All right, friends. So we're going to do a fire and earth practice tonight. So the muscles that we're going to be targeting have associations with the secondary channels for stomach and spleen meridian. So a lot in the neck, so levator scapulae, but a lot in the large muscles in the back too. Latissimus dorsi, upper and lower, trapezius, brachioradialis. Deltoids are actually included in this muscle group too. So that's where you can expect some work today. So we'll start in a seated position. We're going to open up after a little bit of breathing with some pelvic floor work too. So find a good stable seated position. Stack your hips, or stack your joints rather. Float your head over your shoulders, over your hips. Start to lengthen out your breath. And the next time you inhale, visualize a string tied around your heart in the crown of your head, lifting you up toward the heavens along your spinal column. And then as you exhale, maintain that length of your spine, but let your soft tissues fold down toward the earth. And so for these pelvic floor contractions, we're going to start with what was traditionally taught as a Kegel, and then we're going to turn it into a true pelvic floor contraction. So with the Kegel, I'd like you to visualize drawing the front and back of your pelvic floor together. I'll cue you for that on an inhale, and I'll cue you to release it on the exhale. This sounds ridiculous, but like for me, it works. You might visualize a bean in your underpants, in the center of your underpants. Each time you draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together, gently pick the bean up, and then each time you exhale, set it back down. So exhale out all your breath, and then on your inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. So the muscular engagement feels like stopping the flow of urine. Exhale, release your pelvic floor. Inhale, pick up the bean. Exhale, set that bean down. Inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, release. Inhale, pick up the bean. Exhale, set the bean back down. Inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, release, and then relax. Great job, friends. So the next iteration, we're going to build on that. So the first cue, I'll cue you for an inhale, draw the front and back of the pelvic floor together. And then as you exhale, I'd like you to visualize drawing the pelvic floor or the bean that you picked up all the way up to your sternum, as if you could. And then I'll cue you to inhale, release your pelvic floor, exhale, relax. And we'll work through that 5 times. Exhale out all your breath. Inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, lift it up to your sternum. Inhale, gently release your pelvic floor. Exhale, relax. Inhale, pick up the bean. Exhale, lift the bean up to your sternum. Inhale, set the bean back down. Exhale, relax. Inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, lift it all the way up to your sternum. Inhale, release the front and back of your pelvic floor. Exhale, relax. Inhale, pick up your bean. Exhale, lift the bean all the way up to your throat this time. Inhale, release the bean, set it back down. Exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, lift it up to your sternum. Inhale, release your pelvic floor. Exhale, relax. Great job. We're going to come back to that when we get into core work tonight, and we'll build on that. But for now, I'd like you to start to shift into your Ujjayi breath. And then take your left hand up on the crown of your head. Point your left elbow forward toward the top edge of your mat. And then fold your chin down toward your left shoulder. On your next inhale, use your left hand, draw the crown of your head back up to center. Exhale, release your hand down to your lap. Inhale, sweep your right hand up to the top of your head, elbow points forward. Exhale, fold your chin down towards your right shoulder. You guys stay right there. I forgot to start music. Bring the crown of your head back up to center. And then release your right hand down to your lap. Bring your chin so it's level with the earth. Visualize enough space between your chin and your throat that you could hold, say, a tennis ball. And then on your next inhale, press your chin toward the back edge of your mat. In my body, this gives me a bit of a double chin. Exhale, relax your neck. Inhale, double chin. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your chin toward the back edge of your mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, double chin. Exhale, relax. And then one more time on an inhale, press your chin toward the back edge of your mat. Give yourself a nice double chin. Exhale, relax. Plug your left elbow into the bottom of your rib cage. Left forearm parallel to the earth. Drop the fingers of your left hand down as if you're trying to touch the earth. Spread out between the pinky finger and the thumb of your left hand. Take the middle finger, index finger of your right hand, place it below the second knuckle, the thumb just above, and then traction the pinky finger of your left hand back towards your body. So on a scale from 0 to 10, look for about a 6. And then transition to the ring finger. Middle finger. Index finger. Spread out between the thumb and pinky finger one more time. Good, you guys. Looks really good. And then release the pointer finger. Thumb's going to be a little different. Slide the back of your right hand along to the back of your left hand, and then hook that index finger, middle finger of your right hand around your left thumb. Ooh, gently traction that thumb back towards your body. And then rather than letting it snap back, gently release that thumb. Release your left arm. Maybe shake your left arm out. And then we'll change sides. Plug your right elbow into the bottom of your right rib cage. Right forearm parallel to the earth. Drop your fingertips down toward the earth. And then index, middle finger of your left hand under the second knuckle of your right pinky finger. Thumb is just above. Take 2 breaths per digit. And work your way through the 5 digits of your right hand. Every couple fingers, just remind yourself, spread out again between your pinky finger and your thumb. If you're not on the thumb yet, make your way to that right thumb. Back of your left hand in contact with the back of your right hand. Drawing that right thumb back towards your body. And release your thumb, maybe shake your right arm out. And then roll over across the ankles, make your way into a tabletop position. And we'll articulate a little movement of the spine with some cat rolling. Float your shoulders over your wrists, float your hips over your knees. On an inhale, drop your belly down toward the earth. Lift your gaze, drag the heels of your hands back toward your knees. Exhale, press into your hands and your shins. Puff the space between your shoulder blades up toward the stars. And then do that 5 more times at the cadence and pace of your own breath. Looks really good, friends. Graceful, smooth, controlled. Once you've had a chance to work through 6, come into a neutral spine position again. Tuck your toes under your feet, camel legs, walk your knees together. Take the feet out nice and wide. Then bring your left hand to the center of your mat under your sternum. Bring your right hand to the base of your skull. So your right elbow is pointing off to the right. Yep, that's it. On an inhale, squeeze your legs together, lengthen along your spinal column. Exhale, lift your right elbow up toward the stars. Inhale, release about 1/3 of the way out of this twist. Exhale, re-engage. Lift your right elbow up toward the stars. Move through the cycling movement 4 more times. After 6, come back to stillness. Release your right hand down to the earth. Bring your right hand to the center of your mat. Bring your left hand to the base of your skull. Inhale, lengthen along the whole spinal column. Exhale, lift your left elbow up toward the heavens. And then find that cycling movement a total of 6 times. Come back to stillness. Release your hands down to the earth, shoulder width apart. Release your knees, hip width apart. Walk your hands back in toward your knees. Sit back onto your heels or 1 or 2 blocks. And then tee your arms out to the side. Palms face forward. Thumbs point up toward the stars. Close all 4 fingers into a fist. Yep, good. And then fold your thumbs down over the fists. Right? Visualize that you have a pitcher of water in each hand. Now pour water from the pitchers down into the earth. That's it. Good, you guys. That's it. Just right. So thumbs are still up at the top of your fist. We're just turning them down toward the earth, toward the outside. Continue to breathe. All right, so we're going to change this. Now I'd like you to visualize you have a really fancy teacup in a hand. So lift the pinkies up. So the teacup's so fancy, the pinky fingers just lift up. Pour from the pitchers. Sip from the teacup. Pour from the pitchers. And then sip from the teacup. I had a cup of coffee in Costa Rica like that once. It was so good. My pinky finger, I couldn't keep it down. It just popped up. All right, good job, you guys. Shake your arms out. Come back into tabletop. And then I'll invite you on an inhale to tuck your toes up under your feet. Exhale, press your hips up and back, find downward facing dog. And right away, go into the small movements that warm your lower body. Tonight, for me, that's just pedaling the feet out. But it might be swaying the hips. It could be any other thing that feels organic and constructive and healing for you. All right, find stillness in your lower body. Flatten your palms out on the mat. Relax your neck. Drag your elbows down toward the mat 3/4 of an inch more, and then tweeze them together like you were squeezing a beach ball between them. Relax your neck again. Yep, good, you guys. So good. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take as many steps as you need to step up into Uttanasana, ragdoll, with your feet up to hip distance apart, with your whole belly resting in your thighs. Weight predominantly in the balls of the feet, light in the heels. Any arm variation, but not the neck. I'd like you to relax your neck. Release your hands down to the earth. Heel toe your feet together. Shift the weight into your heels, and then inhale into a halfway lift. Long, straight spinal column. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Sweep your arms up and over your head. Exhale, slice your hands down into heart center. Take 2 breaths with a soft gaze at the tips of your fingers. What is your intention for your practice for tonight? Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Palms face forward, thumbs reach for the stars, pinkies reach for the earth. On an inhale, start flipping your palms up, lift your gaze, turn your thumbs back behind you, open your heart. Exhale, sweep your arms forward, release your chin to your chest, puff the space between your shoulder blades toward the back edge of your mat, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, right from here, hinge into a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank, a high push-up position. Index fingers at 12 o'clock. Keep the back of your head buoyant rather than letting it collapse down toward the earth. Keep your core engaged and puff the space between your shoulder blades up toward the stars again. Inhale. Exhale, tap your knees down to the earth, lower down to your belly. Hands and arms stay shoulder width apart. Inhale, easy cobra. Hands under your shoulders. Pull with your hands towards your waist. Peel your heart up off the earth. Press the shoelace parts of your feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees. Look forward. Exhale, walk or step to the top edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Circle your arms up over your head. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, knees up or down, lower down to your belly. Inhale, open your heart, any heart opener. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or float to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, tee your arms out to the side. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, draw in a life affirming breath. And then open your mouth, let that all go. Good, you guys, really good. Bend your knees, look forward, and then move to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, long straight spine, weight in the heels. Maybe a higher chair, maybe a lower chair. Scoop your belly button towards your sternum. And maybe press the bones of your arms closer toward the back edge of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Good job, friends. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale, rock forward on your toes. Float your shoulders over your wrists. Keep the back of your head buoyant. Exhale, knees up or down. Come halfway down. Chaturanga. Inhale, open your heart. I'm going to choose an up dog here. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the heavens. Exhale, step forward into warrior one, maybe replacing your right hand with your right foot. Right toes at 12 o'clock, left toes at 8 to 10 o'clock, spreading your feet apart. Hands could be on the front thigh, heart center, or your fingers could reach for the stars, biceps framing your ears. Press the pinky edge blade of your left foot even more firmly down into your mat. Good, good adjustment. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Step your right leg back to meet your left in a high plank. And then from there, press into down dog, work through a vinyasa, take a break in child's pose, whatever your body calls for. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the stars. Exhale, reach it forward, rise into warrior one. Ground down into all four corners of your left foot and the pinky edge blade and heel of your right foot. And then your next exhale, visualize ice cubes melting. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back. You guys look amazing. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the earth. Step back to high plank. And then you chart your own course into down dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or float to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, low plank. Knees up or down. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right heel skyward. Exhale, step forward, rise into warrior one. One breath to stabilize as you rise. Exhale, open up into Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Pinky edge blade of your left foot parallel with the back edge of your mat. Scoop your belly button towards your sternum again. Shift your gaze out over the left edge of your mat. On an inhale, lift your gaze, flip your palms up. Start to turn your thumbs back toward the right edge of your mat behind you. Exhale, round through your shoulders, which is going to look like palms down and then up in the opposite direction. Good. Release your chin to your chest. That's it. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into warrior two arms. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth, high plank, and then chart your own course to down dog. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step forward into warrior one. And then open up into warrior two. Shift your gaze out over the right hand edge of your mat. On an inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. On your next inhale, come back into warrior two arms. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth, high plank, and then get to down dog in whatever way makes sense for you. On an inhale, lift your right heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step it forward, tap your left knee down, Anjaneyasana, a low lunge. Taking some time maybe to pat up under that left knee if that would serve you. Engage your left glute, maybe release your hips any amount forward toward that right heel. And you can have your hands on the mat, on blocks, on the front thigh. You could take warrior one arms. This is just an invitation. Or forearms parallel to the earth. Close your fingers in towards your hands. Make fists again. Fold your thumbs over your fingers. With a little imagination, from back here, my hands look like the heads of two brontosauruses. Right, so lift the gaze of the brontosauruses up. Look at the pterodactyls maybe. And then shift the gaze down toward the earth. They're herbivores. They're looking down at the understory of the forest floor. Up toward the pterodactyls. Down toward the understory. Somebody told me once this is creepy. I don't think it's creepy though. Lift the gaze of the brontosaurus up. Release the gaze down toward the earth. And then come back into neutral. Goal post your arms out to the side. Re-engage with your left glute. Release your hips forward again. On an inhale, draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze. Open your heart. Exhale. This time rounding is hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows together coming together. Release your chin to your chest. Inhale. Open your heart. Exhale. Round through your shoulders. Inhale. Open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Your next inhale, come back into goalpost arms, and then start to straighten that right leg. Sit back into a half split, Hanumasana. Maybe tucking a block onto that right glute. Maybe folding forward over the shins, or maybe staying with stacked joints. And you could find dorsiflexion of the toes on your right foot, flex them back toward your face. Maybe catch them with a strap or a towel, or put a little water element in that right knee. Each exhale, drop the toes off to the right. Each inhale, lift them back up toward the stars. Those are all just options. All right, friends. If you chose movement for that right foot, have the toes of the right foot reach for the stars like sprouts growing up out of the earth. Inhale, rock forward into Anjaneyasana again, but this time slide your right knee back to your left. Take your knees out nice and wide, bring your big toes together to touch. Sit halfway down into a child's pose, and then I'd like you to really fix the heels of your hands into the earth. Start dragging the heels of your hands back towards your waist. Then sit down. So what I'm looking for is to really get into the lats here. So it'll be a really active, engaged child's pose. Your forehead could still relax down to the earth. Your neck could be relaxed. But if you can, continue dragging the heels of your hands back toward your knees, making those lats work the whole time. Inhale, rock forward into a modified high plank. And then as you exhale, get to down dog in whatever way you like. I'm going to work through a modified vinyasa, but you could press directly there too. On an inhale, lift your left heel up toward the stars. Exhale, step it forward, tap your right knee down, set up into our low lunge on this side. Again, take the time and pat up under your right knee if that serves you. Engage your right glute. Release your hips forward toward that left heel. And then only if it interests you, forearms parallel to the earth, close the fingers in, come back to our Brontosaurus. This time both the Brontosauruses gaze to the right. This is the part they thought was creepy. And then bring the gaze back to center, gaze to the left. Center, right. Are you guys feeling this on the outsides of your wrists? Good, good, good. Center, left, center, right. Center, left. Good job. Come back to center. Come into goalpost arms. Re-engage with that right glute. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Inhale, come back into goalpost arms, and then you can release your arms. Start straightening that left leg, sit back into a half split. Half split on this second side. All right, friends, if you chose movement for that left leg, come back to stillness, and then rock back forward into a low lunge. Bring your hands down to the earth. Step your left leg back to meet your right. Settle your palms firmly into the earth. Start dragging the palms of your hands back toward your knees and sit back into this modified child's pose. Your next inhale, rock forward into a modified high plank. Exhale, press up and back into downward facing dog. And then on an inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or float to the top edge of your mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up to standing. Exhale, draw your hands down through heart center and then down by your waist, palms face forward, Samasthiti. Ground down into all four corners of your left foot and then open up your right hip, any version of Vrikshasana. Could be a kickstand foot, or that sole of that right foot can press anywhere on the inside of your left leg. Inside of your left leg reciprocates. The human tendency here, right knee is going to want to come forward toward the top edge of your mat, press it back in space, and create more space and length between your right kneecap and your left hip. So I used to say this thing, I used to say, think about the weather we've had, lots of rain followed by warm sunny days. Trees love that. So press down into the sole of your feet, lengthen out of the crown of your head. But I keep thinking my forest biology professor, Bill Livingston, eventually is going to hear that and say, I never told him that. Right, so when you release from this, I'm going to ask you to do it slowly, deliberately, with control, but step that right foot out wide, like much wider than hip width apart. Reach the fingers of your left hand up toward the stars, drop the fingers of your right hand down toward the earth, and then press the back of your left hand even higher up toward the stars. Just a funky way to do it, but I'm trying to get into the lats a little bit here as well. Your next inhale, come back up to plum, drop your left hand down by your waist, step your right foot next to your left. Ground down into all four corners of your right foot, and then open up your left hip, any version of tree pose. Find your drishti, find a single point of focus, and soften the quality of your gaze, but a wide aperture, like you were taking in the whole room. It's really good, you guys, all three of you. Do press down into the sole of your right foot more. Do lengthen out of the crown of your head more. And then slowly, deliberately, with control, start to drop your left leg out super wide. Lift the fingers of your right hand up toward the stars. Drop the fingers of your left hand down toward the earth. Press the back of your right hand even higher up toward the stars. Start to come back into plum, stack the joints, drop your right arm down, step your left foot back alongside your right. On an inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, hinge into a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step back into high plank. And then right away, tap your knees down to the earth, make your way down onto your belly. Goal post your arms out to the side, elbows in line with your shoulders, fingers pointing up past the top edge of your mat. Bound angle legs, bring the soles of your feet together. On an inhale, scoop your belly button towards your sternum. And then as you exhale, lift everything else up. Leave the back of your neck long rather than cranking the gaze forward. If this is hard for you, you're not doing anything wrong. This is just hard. Lower down to the earth. You can release your legs. Rest your right cheek on the mat. Come back to goalpost arms. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Bring the soles of your feet together again. Second round of skydiver. On an inhale, scoop your belly button towards your sternum. Feel your pubic bone, maybe root down into the earth. Exhale, lift everything else up. Press the soles of your feet together more. And breathe, breathing the whole time. Lower down, release your legs, rest your left cheek on the mat. And then one last round. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Bring the soles of your feet together again. Inhale, scoop your belly button towards your sternum. Exhale, lift everything else up. Continue to breathe. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower down. Leave your gaze neutral. Leave a bend in your knees. If it feels good, drop your ankles from side to side. Windshield wiper your legs. Then you can release your feet down to the earth behind you. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press yourself up onto your knees, and then side saddle your legs. Off to the side, come onto your back. Grab a block. Come into a bridge setup with the soles of your feet on the earth, a generous bend in your knees. Place the block in between your knees at the medium width. Yep, that's it. Good, you guys. Right, and place your hands just lightly on your thighs for now. So we're going back to that pelvic floor work that we started with. On an inhale, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, lift it up to your sternum. Now, shins parallel to the earth. Flex all 10 toes back towards your face. Press your thighs into your hands. Press your hands into your thighs. Squeeze the pudding out of that block. Set your feet back down on the earth. Relax your pelvic floor. One breath. Inhale. Draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale. Lift it up to your sternum. Bring your shins parallel to the earth. Press your hands into your thighs. Press your thighs into your hands. Squeeze the pudding out of that block. If you notice your lower back rounding and lifting up off the earth, it's okay. It would be a little weird if it didn't round a little, but if you can, press it back down towards your mat. Release your feet down to the earth. Relax your pelvic floor. Good job. One more round. Inhale. Pick up the bean in the center of your underpants. Exhale. Lift the bean up to your sternum. Bring your shins parallel to the earth. Press your thighs into your hands. Press your hands into your thighs. Flex your toes back towards your face. Squeeze the pudding out of that block, and we'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower your feet down to the earth. Relax your pelvic floor. Take your block, go from the medium width to the narrowest width, right between your knees still. And you can do anything you want with your arms now. If you'd like to tee your arms out to the side, that can be nice. We're not going to use the arms. 2 rounds of this. Starting out with the pelvic floor contractions again. Inhale, pick up your bean. Exhale, lift it up to your sternum. And then squeeze the block between your knees. Hover your feet up off the earth. A ½ inch is enough. And then press the pinky edge blades of both feet out toward the outside edges of your mat. So that blade edges of the feet press outward, knees squeeze inward. Squeeze the pudding out of that block.
Good job. Lower your feet down to the earth. Relax your pelvic floor. One full and complete round of breath. And we got one more of these for a count of 10. Inhale, scoop your, or rather, draw the front and back of your pelvic floor together. Exhale, lift it up to your sternum. Squeeze the block. Hover your feet. Press the blade edges of your feet outward. Continue to breathe. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Drop your block. Release your feet. Relax your pelvic floor. Any counter stretch that would bring you peace. Anything that feels healing. I'm going to take a full body stretch, but you could draw your knees into your chest. Anything that feels good. And then once you've had a couple of breaths in a counter pose, come back to our bridge setup. Thread the needle. Hook the pinky edge blade of your right foot on the outside of your left thigh. Option 1, place the heel of your right hand on your right inner thigh. Straighten your right arm. That may be plenty. If that's plenty, you're home. Stay right here. If you want more, look between your legs. Thread your right hand into that triangle. Interlace both hands behind that left thigh. Flex all 10 toes. Find push, pull. Pushing your right knee forward. Pulling your left knee in towards your heart. Release your left thigh, release the sole of your left foot down to the earth. Slide your right knee right over your left, so eagle legs. It's going to sound like I'm setting you up for a twist, not quite yet. But slide your hips over to the right. Now lift both knees up as if you were trying to touch yourself on the chin. And now left hand on your right shin, just below the knee. Guide your right knee down in the general direction of your left shoulder. It certainly doesn't have to touch. It doesn't even have to be close. Nautilus pose. Release the sole of your left foot down to the earth. Release your right shin. Drop both knees off to the left. If that's too much sensation in the twist right away, unwind the knees first. And if you wanted to add sensation in this twist, shift your gaze out over the fingers of your right hand or straighten your right leg and let gravity draw that big toe edge blade of your right foot down toward the earth. Start to lift your knees back up to center. Unwind your legs. Come back to our bridge setup. And then thread the needle on the other side. Hook the pinky edge blade of your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Option 1, heel of your left hand on your left inner thigh and just straighten that left arm. Or thread your left hand into that triangle. Pull your right knee in towards your chest. Push your left knee forward. Flex all 10 toes. Bring your feet to life. release your thread the needle. Release your right thigh, release the sole of your right foot down to the earth. Eagle legs, slide your left knee over your right. Scoot your hips over to the left, nautilus pose. Lift both knees up like you were trying to touch your chin, and then right hand comes to the left shin just below the knee. Guide your left knee down in the general direction of your right shoulder. Release your nautilus pose. Lower your feet down to the earth. Drop your knees over to your right. Shift your gaze over to the left. Maybe straighten that left leg. And make this pose fit your body. Here, not only is the wrap too much, but even legs side by side is too much for me on this side. If that's you, place a block in between your inner thighs. Give yourself a little bit of space there. All right, friends, lift your knees back up to center again. So we're back in our bridge setup. Grab a block, press into your feet, lift your thighs and hips, slide the block under your lower back, and then float your ankles over your hips. Flex all 10 toes back towards your face. Waterfall. If you like, you can experiment with pointing and flexing the feet as well. And bring the soles of your feet parallel to the ceiling. Start to put a bend in your knees. Happy baby pose. Your hands could be back behind the thighs, anywhere on the ankles or the shins. You can wrap your peace fingers around your big toes or take your hands out to the pinky edge blades of your feet. And if your baby feels joyful, feel free to rock from side to side. And then from here, friends, release your happy baby, come into any final resting shape. On your seat, your belly, your back, or your side, provided that you can balance the two qualities of relaxation and alertness. Place your focus and your attention on your left thumb and let it relax. Relax your left index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Relax the pinky finger of your left hand and your left wrist, your left elbow. Imagine your left shoulder relaxing so much that it can melt down into your mat. Relax your right thumb.
And then index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Let the pinky finger of your right hand relax, and then follow that by relaxing your right wrist, your right elbow. Your right shoulder melts down into your mat. Both of your arms are now completely relaxed. Place your focus and attention on the big toe of your left foot and relax it. And second toe, middle toe, fourth toe. Relax the pinky toe of your left foot and your left ankle, your left knee. Your left hip melts down into your mat. Relax the big toe on your right foot. Second toe, middle toe, fourth toe. Allow the pinky toe of your right foot to relax, and then relax your right ankle, your right knee. Your right hip melts down and settles into place precisely next to your left. Visualize a wave of relaxation that starts at the base of your pelvic floor and goes all the way up to your sternum. Then relax your chest. Let your whole mouth relax, your upper lip, your lower lip, your jaw, your tongue, all relax. And the same with your eyes. Relax your eyelids, relax your eyeballs. And imagine what it would feel like if you could even relax the sockets of your eyes any amount more. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Imagine any wrinkles, strain, or concern easing out of your forehead. And then relax even in the crown of your head. Imagine that your whole body was so relaxed that you could melt down through your mat, melt down through the floor, and come to rest upon the earth that supports us all. Swallow 2 or 3 times, and then start to draw some deeper breaths, going bigger in your belly and your chest on each inhale, and more full and complete on each exhale. And then begin to reanimate your body with any small movements, maybe wiggling your fingers or your toes, maybe drawing your chin from shoulder to shoulder. And then as your body calls for it, start to go bigger, maybe rotating your hands at the wrists, your feet at the ankles, maybe taking a full body stretch. And then roll over onto either side, find a fetal position. Take 3 or 4 breaths right here, and just check in, notice how you're feeling, your body, your mind, and your spirit. Press yourself up into any seated position. Find any soft eyes in any hands of your preference and choice. Thank you, dear sisters, for allowing me once again to guide you through your practice tonight. I appreciate your energy, your breath, and your practice. If you're moved to do so, draw your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. Blessings to you and your family. And that concludes our practice for tonight. Once again, I'm Chris. I'm from Transformation Nation Yoga and Wellness, and this was our Stability Meets Mobility Fire and Earth sequence. You're doing amazing. Just keep going.